right. Here we are. The intern, the pastor, the mentor,
The mini me.
the mini me. Is there hero anywhere in there yet? Is that gonna take like week 3?
That'll probably be week 3.5, maybe week 4.
Either hero or tyrant. Have you
Mhm.
decided which one will end up being?
That's up to you.
It's
That's
up to me.
you, yeah.
Okay, I haven't decided yet. You guys know Dylan. He's our intern here at Westwood. And I thought it'd be kind of fun for us to have a little conversation, dialogue, about this whole topic of my stuff, getting free from things, materialism, being materialistic. There's a little bit of age difference between the two of us.
A little bit.
Not that we're dating or anything or it really matters, but he's 19, I'm like 41. We probably look at life a little bit differently, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to hear just some different ideas and perspectives on, to take a look at this idea of stuff and looking at our the church, looking at our culture, how it affects our generations. And I know you've been doing some research with me and preparing this series, and thought maybe it'd be kind of fun to hear some of your thoughts. So, what's been kind of going through your mind as you been kind of looking at quotes and scripture and some of the stats and statistics about our world and where we find ourselves?
Well, I mean, beyond the facts and the figures, I mean, in my own personal experience, I've seen a lot of this in play. Personally, I've taken a lot of my stuff for granted. I I didn't really realize how wealthy, how rich, how much I really had until a couple of years ago, and I went to Honduras. I went on a mission trip with my home church, and it was a very humbling experience to know how happy, how fulfilled a lot of these people were, varying in age, varying in background. People my age, people much younger than me, people much older than me, um, who were just content. And I would look around and I'd say, "You have nothing. You really have nothing." And then, but yet, not only is their happiness just through the roof. I mean, they just were just loving, sharing all the time, just sharing with everyone. And so I think that kind of sparked a progressive kind of thought of materialism on me. And as I grew older, it's only been reinforced by the research that I'm doing now and just by my own experiences.
I think a lot of our folks on our mission trips have had similar experiences, particularly when they go to some countries that maybe don't have the same kind of resources or financial freedom we have in the U.S. I know a lot of our team was greatly impacted with the Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm.
Very same experience,
Right.
walking among groups of people who had a joy and a sense of happiness in life, but they didn't really have the things that we have here. And it was amazing for a lot of our people. You kind of go there with a full suitcase, and these are all the clothes and all the things that you were bringing along to make the trip successful. And a lot of people came back with virtually empty suitcases.
Yeah.
They just gave their pants, their clothes, their boots, their hats before they hop back on the plane, just because of the impact. And we've watched kids come back from missions trips, and it's almost like a shocker to come back in the first couple weeks here to kind of go, wow, life here in America really is different than life in other places. The scriptures, you're a believer, follower of Christ, and what do you kind of think the scriptures are speaking to you about at 19 years of age, about your life and things and possessions, etc.? What's God Christ speaking to you about?
Well, I think it's easy to look at some of the scriptures about wealth, about materialism, about possessions, and think of it as an antiquated problem, as something that was but is no longer. I think it's easy to do that with a lot of the scriptures. However, I think it's so important to look at these scriptures with new eyes and say that this is applicable not only in today's time but to me. And so one thing that's been prevailing in a lot of the scriptures is that materialism, the idea of material, of course, the word materialism does not appear in the Bible. It might in certain translations. I have those I haven't found yet, but but there's the idea all throughout the Bible that when you put material possessions, when you put material wealth before God, before everything else in your life, which a lot of us are guilty of, it is, in a sense, denying the existence of God, denying the power, the ability of God to provide. And so that's one thing that's really been actually almost tough to deal with. And so to know that some of my actions, some of my thoughts have been a complete denial of God, of who God is.
Yeah,